currently recipe testing white pizzas for an upcoming video, and this is what I've got so far. This is a 70% hydration sourdough. I'll just use my fingers to push this out, and then let gravity take over. Flour, flip that on, garlic butter, sesame seed the crust, roasted broccoli, fresh mozz, little fresh ricotta cheese, grated parm. Got my pizza steel preheated at 550. 6 minutes. Oh yeah. Drizzle of honey. Look at that slice.
Let's make my incredible wood oven restaurant-style pizza and pizza dough. Without the wood oven or the pizza stone, this dough is incredible. It's thin crust and it's charred on the bottom. It is so, so good. Let's get started. In a bowl, add a teaspoon of sugar, 1 package of active dry yeast, and 1 cup and a quarter of warm water. Stir it together and let it foam up. Once it does, add 3 cups of all-purpose flour and half a teaspoon of salt to your counter or your stand mixer. If you're doing this on the counter, gradually add in your liquid and begin to mix, and then start kneading for 7 to 10 minutes until you have a nice soft dough. Oil it up a little, let it sit covered for an hour and a half until it has tripled in size. Punch it down once it has and separate it into 4 equal pieces and roll them out. You're going to have 4 individual size pizzas. Heat up a pan really well on the stove and add in your pizza. Add in your toppings of choice, and once it's charred on the bottom, transfer it onto a baking sheet with parchment paper. Pop it in the oven under broil. Keep an eye on it. Enjoy.
At delivery, you can make pizza at home with this super easy pizza dough recipe. First, pour 3/4 of a cup of warm water into a small bowl. The temperature should be around 98 degrees Fahrenheit or 36 Celsius, and it's important because you're next going to add active dry yeast, which needs warmth to activate. Adding half a tablespoon of sugar gives the yeast something to feed on, which will speed up the process. After a little mix and a few minutes of resting, you should see lots of frothy bubbles form on top. This means the yeast is awake and ready to use. In a large bowl, mix together all-purpose flour, sugar, and salt, then gently mix the yeast mixture and pour it in. Use your hands to bring a shaggy dough together. Don't worry if at first it seems too dry, just keep working it and kneading it until it holds together, and it will. If it still feels a little dry, you can always add a bit more water and continue kneading until the dough is smooth and elastic. Gently form the dough into a ball, then transfer to a large bowl and drizzle with a little olive oil. Roll the dough around in the oil so all sides get a good coating, then tightly cover with plastic wrap and place in a warm spot for about an hour or until it has doubled in size. After it's risen, punch the dough down to release the air and you're ready to make pizza.
Hey guys, let's make some stuffed crust pizzas. These actually came out really good, but I think I'm going to remake them just because I'm not really happy with how they look. You want to start with some water, yeast, sugar, leave that to sit for a few minutes before you add the rest of the stuff. And with the flour, just add it in cups and then keep kneading it until it's nice and smooth like that. Then roll it into a ball and leave it to rise for a couple of hours, and then you can pop it like that. So satisfying. Knead it again and then split it in half, so we're going to make 2 pizzas with this. Now you want to take some mozzarella sticks and line it around the crust and then pull the edge over it and fold it over, if that makes any sense. You can add a bit of water to help it stick, but make sure you push it down really well because you don't want it to open up like mine kind of did. But yeah, put your toppings on. I just did some pepperoni and veggies and then bake it. That's pretty much it. So you can see how my crust kind of opened up, which is why I kind of want to remake it, but it still tasted great.
Let's make a pizza in a cast iron skillet. Add a little olive oil to your cast iron skillet. Rub it in. We're using Trader Joe's plain pizza dough, and we're going to just let it proof right in the pan. Proofing means you want to let it sit out. This one recommends that it sits for 30 minutes before you get started. Preheat your oven to 475 degrees. Push your pizza dough out. A little more olive oil. A little bit of salt. Some Italian seasoning. Some pizza sauce. Some shredded cheese, some fresh mozzarella. We're gonna slice these up. Now we're gonna add some pepperoni into the oven at 475 degrees for about 15 minutes, maybe longer. You gotta keep your eye on it. Just pulled the pizza out of the oven and this is what it looks like. Slice it up and serve. Enjoy.
Do you have too much bread drying out and don't know what to do with it? Then keep watching. Let's turn it into some delicious pizza. First, cut the bread into tiny pieces. Then crack 2 eggs and mix them with 1 tablespoon of water and a little bit of salt. Add the egg mixture to the bread and mix. In a greased pan, add the bread, some tomato sauce, shredded mozzarella or cheese, and your favorite pizza toppings. Put the pan's lid on and keep it on low-medium heat for about 15 minutes. Or until it's fully cooked. Then take it out from the pan and serve it immediately. Follow for more recipes only.
My hot girls with stomach issues. This recipe is for all my gluten intolerant, lactose intolerant, IBS baddies. Oh my god, you guys. I have done it. I made the bombest gluten-free crust that takes 3 ingredients, barely any time to make. It doesn't include any garlic, any onion, any bullshit. It's just simple, really nourishing ingredients. I added some Parmesan, but you're more than welcome to add your dairy-free cheese. Whatever the fuck rocks your boat, okay? Just make this pizza to your liking, and I swear to God you won't regret it. I devoured this thing! Mwah!
Je te montre comment faire une vraie pâte à pizza napolitaine. Tu dissous en premier ton sel dans de l'eau, tu rajoutes de la farine, tu mélanges un petit peu, tu mets la levure et ensuite tu mets en 4 fois la farine, tu pétris une première fois dans le bol avant de passer sur le plan de travail. Et là, défoule-toi, tu la boxes, tu la tapes, mais l'essentiel c'est que tu la pétris pour que tous les ingrédients se mélangent très bien. Tu formes ensuite une petite boule, c'est pas grave si ça colle, c'est normal, et tu laisses reposer pendant 20 minutes. Une fois que c'est fait, tu vas former des petits ronds, des petits cercles, des boudins, ce que tu veux, et tu retournes et tu reproduis ça pendant 5 minutes. Normalement, ta pâte ne colle plus, puis repos sous un torchon, ensuite en partie 2.
Rămâi cu mine 10 secunde dacă vrei să înveți cum poți mânca pizza în fiecare zi fără să te îngrași. Am pus-o lipit într-o tigaie, apoi am întors-o și am uns-o cu sos de roșii, am acoperit-o cu oregano, mozzarella light și gata!